You're one of the funniest guys I know. We've just begun.
We should get to know more people.
Okay. I like part of... Back in the day, I used to listen to a lot of podcasts. When I first started listening to podcasts, and there was a podcast called Startup. And it was this guy starting a business, making a podcast, and he was recording how to start a business, which was about podcasting. But like he would record himself, I'm going out to a meeting to meet with investors, to meet with this,
Like reality
this
show
idea.
podcast.
Yeah, so the first season is all about him getting his business set up, and then he starts to bring on other people like that are in startup businesses, and then a few seasons later comes back to them, like where you're holding, and like very interesting.
Cool.
So I feel like a part of this podcast is
Sure.
like based on yesterday's conversation. I do feel like something's happening. Like we're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Because it hit me like all these other guys. I'm always waiting for someone to like come and tell me I'm good enough to be like you were saying about the guys that help out in the ayahuasca circles. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the shot, I'm not said I'm a helper, and now I
Reach their
feel.
connections.
Yeah, or like Omar Pinto and Mary Kay are when they're gonna call me and LA Nash. Mendy, we need a fourth guy. Like, why don't you join our team? Like, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be like Schneur Hayes. We decide today we could also run a facility, whatever, facilitate
Facilitations.
some healings and.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I think
You know,
since
wait for anybody.
yeah,
like,
since you're saying that, because like I think that is, I don't know what the topic is supposed to be. It's going to be whatever happens.
we're just talking.
Okay, so
Forget
I
the
was
computer.
lately been thinking about that because I realized that if you think that, you know, so I was thinking recently about the fact that like ultimately we seek out ways of adding to our equity, adding to our value, you know, like as if like our value is like X, and then if we can connect with this famous person, wealthy person, you know, popular person, then we kind of lift ourselves up to some kind of status. And like I was thinking about the fact that like ultimately like, you know, you have to be to yourself like the real you, the you that you're seeking out is like the celebrity slash high quality human that you are trying to connect with, and the part of you that's like strong and you know all the good stuff. And I think that like as you go through life and you get more access to yourself and see like the beauty of who you are and the gift you are, that, you know, I feel like it takes out that whole thing. It's like there is a you are seeking someone, absolutely, and you're trying to like meet the coolest person, and you want the coolest person to be friends with you. You want to be able to say like, I'm friends with the coolest. You know who I'm friends with? I'm the friends with the coolest person. You know, and you know then you just find out like you are that coolest person that you end up getting to be friends with. Yeah.
There's that book title. You're the one you've been looking for. You heard of that book?
Yeah, by Richard Schwartz.
I don't know. I never read it.
Yeah. Richard Schwartz.
Yeah, it is him.
It's IFS for couples. Yeah, you're the one. I think you're the one you've been looking for. Yeah. But I think
If I didn't read it, I would think it's all about this. Anyhow.
it is about this in a way. I mean, it's more technical, but it is about the idea that you are. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's not exactly on this topic. It's more for like shalom bias and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you're not the gift, then why are you living? I hate to be so like dark, but like, why are you schlepping this guy around, feeding him and bathing him and like spending so much money on him and then
Hating him?
yeah, like what are you schlepping this thing around if it's not the most important thing in your life? You know, if it's not the most important in your life, it's hard to schlep it around. It's like, oh, wish I was with a cool person. You know, I have to schlep me around wherever I go. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile trying to find like you. Trying to find you.
Yeah. That's the work.
Yeah. Now, that's the work. But what's the work? What is the work?
That is
What do you have to
work.
do? Right, what do you have to do?
No. how to do the work is something else. But that's
like, the work.
What are we trying to do here? What are you trying to do in this whole space, in this life?
So life is just trying to find you.
Right.
It's like you get lost from yourself, and then you seek out yourself throughout life, and you just get closer and closer. If you take the cues and you.
Yeah, and we've been taught this message all along. When we say that Hashem hid himself so we can re-find him, who are you looking for? Because Hashem created himself as you so that you can find him. And who's that him? It's you.
Right. Yeah. I'll tell you something. A lot of times people ask me, like, so how do I do that? You know, because like it'll come up in sessions, like people, like we're talking about, like,
how did today?
Self-love. You know, what does that mean? Self-love, and it's like a term, and it's out there, and it's talked a lot about, but like, what does it actually mean? And then, like, how are you supposed to do that? And so, it's almost like people are saying, like, I don't know how to ski. Like, no one taught me how to ski, so how am I supposed to do self-love? I don't think it works that way. I think that self-love is a natural state of being, and unfortunately throughout childhood sometimes we take on these narratives of like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or obviously I don't matter, or whatever it is, but it's like it covers over, it overrides the self-love that's there from birth. And like oftentimes in groups that I run, people will say, yeah, but like I know that I've been traumatized and I hated myself from the beginning. Like from the beginning, you know? Like it's not like I was 7 or 10. It's like from the beginning, I never felt good. I always felt crappy.
From 7?
I'm saying they're saying like
that's
sometimes trauma starts at 7 or at 5. Something happened. They're like, no, like
it could start at birth.
Right, it doesn't matter. At birth, but I always say, well, can you imagine a child that's like, you know, okay, there are rare cases of like severe neglect, so we're not going to talk about that in this context because they do exist from birth. But in the average child usually screams and cries when they're hungry.
Yeah.
Right. So can you imagine a child being like, I'm hungry, and then being like, yeah, like having a voice that's like, but like you don't deserve it. So like just don't even like just
die.
Yeah, like your mother's busy. Like she has things to do. Like you're not good enough to like stop her from like this thought process is not natural at all. You see, look at just watch a baby, like, and just analyze a child. Analyze the baby, how it operates, how much it demands its needs. It takes self-care, self-love, everything I need. I will scream, I will yell, I will fuss, I will not stop because I deserve to be taken care of, right? That's the natural state. Then, you know, through different experiences, start to develop a narrative that is like, oh, well, I'm screaming, no one's coming to get me, I guess there's no point, or, you know, then that, as they develop further, it turns into more sophisticated narratives of like, I actually feel like I'm not worth anything. But, you know, so I share, like, you don't need to actually do anything to advocate for yourself, love yourself, and really put yourself first. That's how you were born. You just have to find out where these narratives are and just slowly, you know, untie yourself from them.
Yeah. So how do I do that? Right. But also, it's interesting. There's a guy here who's like super anti-therapy and stuff. And like, well, some people just don't love themselves, and that's why we need to do all this work. And he's like, the fact that you're doing this work and you're this, it's because you love yourself. You're so obsessed with yourself. Right. It's like, you're right. You're right. That's right. Like,
right.
If we didn't love ourselves, we wouldn't be so like trying to heal ourselves and find.
You're not supposed to love yourself. According, I'm saying this person's saying you're not supposed to love yourself.
No, he's saying like you love yourself. Like I was saying like something like I feel like I don't love myself, and I want to, so I have to like
love yourself, yeah. Explore
and do all this stuff. He's like, you love yourself so much. Maybe we love ourselves too much. Right. You know, like it's become a little obsessive. I just thought it was a good. There's a truth there. Like, right, if I didn't love myself, even if you kill yourself, why do you kill yourself? Because I love myself and I don't want to hurt anymore.
Right. Exactly.
It's out of love. So it's interesting. But then again, the question is, how do I do that? how do I stop hating myself so that the love comes out?
Yeah.
I had a client today. He asked me that also. It was like, because yesterday's conversation was so enlightening for me. I loved that. It was just we were talking for like over an hour. It was so nice. Like right after I finished with you.
Yeah.
It was so powerful. Like, and then today on the phone, this kid was talking about his friend that's toxic, and he thinks he's taking advantage of him, and he just wants to drive him places, and I was kind of doing the same process, but it went a different way. He was like saying, I was like saying, is it true that this guy really doesn't care about you? Like, he just wants, he's like, I think so, because he's only calling, whatever. And then I was like, wait, so, and you're not telling him no? He's like, I think he's saying this friend wants to hang out with him, because then the friend feels like he's something that it makes him feel good about himself, that, whatever. I don't know what the situation was. I don't remember exactly. But I'm asking the client, but you're not saying no, you're going along. Why are you going along? It's like, because, I want to be a nice guy. And okay, so you want to be a good guy, so you're getting in the car. He's getting in the car so he could feel good about himself. You guys are almost equal. You're also taking advantage. Like, instead of saying, no, I don't want to go with you, like, I want to feel like a good guy, so I don't want to be a bad guy, so I say yes. Like, you don't care about him. You just want to feel like a good guy. Like, notice that. Just
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny you're saying that. Yeah, absolutely. So,
but then, like, how do we get to the place where you could say no? Because, no, I don't actually want to take you. I don't.
So we're talking about boundaries.
It's a boundary, and then get to that place where you really like yourself. You could say no to the guy, and it's okay if he says, well, you're an asshole, and I don't like you, and I can't believe you're telling me no, and be like, that's totally fine. I don't want to take you. But then you reach a place where you like yourself so much that you can say, you don't have to give me anything in return. I actually just want to take you to the airport, even though I think you're an asshole. I love you for your assholeness. I'm taking you to the airport. Like, if you don't need anything from him, because you don't need him to validate that, like those feelings of like, oh, I need to feel like a good guy. Like, you are a good guy. Why do you can't say no? Why do you have to say yes to feel like a good guy? You could say no. You're still a good guy. Like,
or you could say no. Like, you're saying you should, like, what I thought I heard you say is that, like, ultimately you can just take the person, even though you see, like, I don't really want to take this person. And the first option was to take them anyways and override yourself, even though you annoyed, like, right. And then you go like, oh, why do I have to take that guy? I really don't like them. You're saying, and the higher level is to, like, take them anyways, because, like, you can hold space for their, like you said, their crap. A higher level is just don't take them. And don't feel bad about it.
Right. No.
If you don't want to.
I think that's level 2.
So I think
like, I don't want to take you. So
I think it's the highest level.
1 second. But what's if I tell, like, I asked this guy, if I came to where you live right now, and you're free, and I'm like, hey, can you pick me from the airport? Like, would you take me? It's like, sure, like, because I like you, you're okay. So you have no problem. It's not about taking to the airport that's the problem. It's this guy that's the problem. You don't want to take this guy to the airport, because he's not giving you anything in return. If you come to a place where you're so solid within yourself, you don't need anything from him, then you can really take him to the airport. That's a little bit higher.
Yeah, I get that. I'm talking about people who
first, you got to learn how to say no.
Exactly.
You got to learn how to say no.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like, that's
but once you learn how to
part,
say no, then
right?
you can also say yes
right.
fully.
So how do you say no?
Right, it's by being so comfortable with yourself. I love me so much.
But what does that mean practically? So let's have an example. Like, someone calls you and says, like, hey, like, I really need a favor. Can I borrow, I don't know, can I borrow your car? Like, whatever, my car's in the thing, I could borrow your car. And, like, let's say, like, I could borrow your car for a trip with my family, And it's like, well, I just don't want my car to be used in that way, right? Like, right. It's not about me being mean or not. It's just, like, how I feel. I just don't want my car to be used that way. Yeah. But then it's like, but then, like, you try and say no, and it's like you're stuck, because it's like, what is that feeling? It's like confrontation. It's like fear of, like, like being seen as someone, you're gonna make them upset at you, right? So then let's go deeper with that. Like, so what is that? Like, why do people feel like so scared to possibly not please other people? So it's people pleasing, and its core is people pleasing. And what is people pleasing? What is that feeling? What's that energy that comes up when when somebody, like, when you have to say, when you like really want to say no, but like you're afraid of like saying no. I don't know if you know like a little bit. I think the philosophy, the science behind those calls people call. They're like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and they, what do they call those calls? And they used to, maybe now,
Pranks?
No, not pranks. Like soliciting calls. Like people who call you to like get a
Cold
new
calls?
Are they called cold calls? Like when people call you and they're like, "Hey, we're selling this," or "We're collecting for something." What's it called? Like type of call?
It's a cold call. Like
A cold call. Yeah. So like
you just
a
call
lot of
million
people
all day. Like
this, I think I'm totally making this up, but I never saw this. But like I really believe that like the science behind the success is all the people who are people pleasers and afraid to hang up.
100%.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's
is
a
that
book.
a known thing? Okay, I
There's
just
a book
totally didn't
by
know that.
Brian Tracy, I think.
Okay, fine. So like there's a science behind it, right?
Psychology of selling. 'Cause
Okay.
You have to be
Okay.
afraid of getting a no. It's not personal. They just don't want your product.
I'm not talking about the guy
Okay.
who's selling. I'm saying the guys who
can't
receiving can't hang up.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm saying like this.
Okay.
The success of this whole model is that there's going to be a large percentage of people who are afraid to say no, and so they're just going to give you their credit card number. They're just going to do
just
anything.
keep calling.
Just keep calling. You're going to eventually, mathematically, statistically, you're going to end up with so many people that are just like, okay, yeah, because they're afraid to hang up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, I was totally like that.
Yeah. So that is part of what we're talking about. That's part of this whole boundary thing. It's like I don't want to give you money. I don't have enough money,
Right.
or I don't want to give money, or I don't believe in what you're collecting for, like your graduation trip.
Right.
And I'm anyways going to give it though because it's easier for me to give away money. Like let's say I have $10 in my bank account. I babysat one time and I'm 12 years old and I have $10, and someone's asking for a $10 donation, and it's like easier for me to give away my money, which sucks, than to say like, no, I'm not interested. The words no, I'm not interested, thank you. And I think if we go a little bit deeper with that, let's go a little deeper with that. Like, what is that? What is that? Like, it's your $10. Like, you already gave your Meister from it. Like, why are you giving it away? Because there's something about saying no, which is so scary, so painful, that you'd rather give away, everything you have. And for this case, $10. But for a kid, that might be like a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what is it? Why is that so scary for people? You said you had that?
Oh yeah.
So can you
Well,
share?
it's fear of rejection.
So what is that?
Use
What is
like,
that? Yeah, like what?
Where I'll
what
be
reje-
left
what
alone
rejection?
and stuck with people who aren't going to like me, and I'm not going to survive this. He used words which I also very much relate to.
Who's he?
This client.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like we're kind of taking apart the story.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
Like
forgot who we're talking
he
about.
used very good words that like I relate to a lot. I just want to be a good guy. I'm a good guy. There's this constant like belief I'm not a good guy.
No more
and
Mr. Nice
I
Guy.
need, huh?
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Right.
The book, like, don't be a good guy.
Yeah.
That's why your life's horrible.
Right. Like I need to be a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I say no, then I'm not a nice guy. If I'm not a nice guy, I can't even live with myself.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because then like everyone's taking advantage of me and they don't care about me. And I love those words. Like they don't care about me, they just need my ride. Okay. Inside you, all of you is screaming, no, I don't want to do it. And then you're saying yes because of like I need to be a good guy. And then you say he doesn't care about you. Just change the language. I don't care about me.
Yeah.
I don't care about me.
Yeah.
I want to say no, and I'm saying yes anyhow.
Right. Right.
It's like that was like stop. This is how we put it. Like this is the gift that this guy is giving to you. It's ugly wrapping paper. He's like, it keeps happening to me. I keep getting into these things with these people that always like just take it. I'm the perfect candidate. I'm like they're offering you a gift in gross wrapping paper, but take off the wrapping paper and inside it's like, it's not they don't care about me. I don't care about me. I want to say no, and I'm saying yes anyhow. Like, how do you think your inner child, whatever you want to call it, feels every time you just betray it? Say no. No, I'm going to be a bad guy. I need to say yes. Ouch. Okay, back to your question. What's deeper? Like, what is the deep meaning behind it?
Yeah, it's just something that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I think that it's counterproductive for the world at large, because when people sell themselves short, the world gets shortchanged. We all get shortchanged because the gift of each individual is very powerful. Literally, like every single person has if you really think about it, every human being has its own like way it thinks, the way it operates, and like there's in that complexity and in the millions of different things of each person, there's like really beautiful things that nobody else has. Whether it's like a way of thinking or a way of seeing something or a talent or a capability or whatever, but everybody, every single person. And I feel like there's like millions, if not billions, of like trapped gifts that like got stuck on in transit because of this.
Right.
Because like I just need to make everybody like me, so I'm gonna like shut myself down and try and just chameleon my way through life, like just be like everybody else so that I'm safe, right? The chameleon, like it looks like, let's say it's on a plant, it'll look like a plant. It looks on a tree, it looks like a tree because it's trying not to be seen, because it survives. It's a survival tactic, right? So I need to survive, so I can't be seen, because if I act my authentic, individualized self, I'll be seen. But if I blend in by shutting myself down and just being like everybody else, which is, I feel like saying yes when you want to say no is part of that. Mm-hmm. It's like, let me just make everybody happy here, meaning let me just look good to whatever good is in that time, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like the world, because of this, is missing so much. Right. Like there's so much. Like I have a client who is musically talented, incredibly musically talented, and I'm like, I know what to do, because I said, can I hear your music? And he was like, no, I don't really know, because he was talking about like, I want to record my music. And it was so fun. It happens to be that I was there was a piano in the therapy room that I was using, so I was like, go ahead. And he played this incredible song, and I was like, okay, I have a big problem right now, because I'm supposed to be doing therapy with this person. What's therapy? Like I'm supposed to be doing therapy, as if there's like some kind of, what is therapy? It means this and not that. But of course there's that idea. Okay, so I'm supposed to be doing therapy with this guy, and meanwhile I'm noticing that he's musically talented and is very shy about his music and doesn't feel confident enough about it, and kind of is like, I'm just going to repress this part of me, like shut it down and just not give it, not let it flow. But once I heard the song, I was like, oh crap, like what do I do? I have an ethical dilemma as a therapist. Do I continue doing therapy, or do I start like helping this flower, flourish and bud into what it is? And so I was like, here, I want to be honest with you, I'm struggling a little bit. I was like, your music's amazing, and I think that it's part of the therapeutic process for us to work on getting your music out. Like, I think there's nothing greater than what we can do with our time. It's not the whole time. We can talk about what we need to talk about, but I think I would like if part of our work would be for me to work together with you to get this music out there. And he agreed, and we're in the process.
Cool.
I got in touch with a producer who actually was really into this. Like, he wants to help like hidden talent, and like we're in the middle of trying to make it happen. But I'm telling you all this is because there's millions of people out there like him. It's like these, and when I say talented, I mean talented. I'm not just saying like yay, you made a song, it's like really, no, I'm talking about like real talent that is clearly God-given, and the world needs it too. So then you have so many talents, so many beautiful gifts that the world needs, and we all need. Like we're like treading water here, okay? Like we're all treading water, because I'm going to totally go on a rant now, okay? Is that all right? Is there any rules here? Okay. Because no, I'm just saying, like, who are we?
It's just you and I in a
You
room.
and me? I'm imagining a whole crowd over here and hallucinating. Okay, so basically,
It's the power of a mic.
so beautiful. Okay, so basically, what I'm saying is that it's like, who do we have as a frame of reference for ourselves in this society, thanks to social media, as to whether or not, like, as to our value as a human? Like, who are we measuring against, right? So if everybody in America was 7 feet tall, and I'm 6 feet tall, I'd be like, damn, I feel really self-conscious about how short I am, right? If everybody is 4 feet tall, then I'd be really self-conscious about how tall I am. The same height suddenly shifted from being, all my self-consciousness is about how short I am, how tall. Same thing with like what size people are, what weight people are, and how people look, and just in general, just like a whole, like, this is how. So when we So who do we have now to be able to like as a frame of reference of like, am I cool? Am I normal? Am I successful? Am I whatever? I feel like for a lot of people, at least for like younger people who are very influenced, the people that they're looking against are people that are showing to them, people that are showing to these people that are looking like, okay, what's a perfect version of a human, like happy, wealthy, getting all the fun and all the good things. Like they're showing this thing like that's not real, right? And so everyone's like looking and they're like, oh, like I'm just such a loser, inadequate, whatever you want to say. And so is there a frame of reference, and then that because of that, they're like I'm gonna like claim that I have something, like yikes, I'm 2 feet tall and everyone's 10 feet tall, like yikes, you know, I gotta just stay quiet, shut myself down, and just zombie and follow other people. That's gonna be my codependent way of feeling good. I'm just gonna like fantasize that I'm like cool because I imagine this person filling me, and it's very sad, right? And so going back to what we said before, I just feel like what's coming up for me right now is that it's very easy to say what's wrong in life, right? It's very, what's wrong, and like, oh, I've heard endless amount of people pointing out the problems with life, which is fine. I mean, it's like, oh, okay. So, but the solution, I think, is what I feel, is that there needs to be like a revolution of radical honesty in the world, of people just showing themselves as they are more and more and more. Just like, hey, like, I'm a human, and here are my challenges, and this is what happened to me today, or I'm going through this, and like, and I'm okay, and I'm gonna make it, and like putting out their talents and showing what they can do, and we need to like show another version of an influencer, so that then people could be like, oh, like he's a regular guy that has depression, anxiety, self-doubt, you know, inner child stuff, whatever, you know, insecurities, and he's just pushing his way to make it, just give his gift to the world. So I could too, you know. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does. But first of all, there's so many of those out there. I was thinking just today driving about like,
so many of out there,
people that have risen to the calling or whatever and became themselves and put themselves out there. Infinitely more, like, you know, how many like Jewish singers are there on Spotify that like, every day there's another guy popping up, right? Just in the music world. What?
No, yes, but the one that could, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
But when they rise to the destination of finally getting out there and people see them, are they then feel the pressure of I have to show a perfect version of myself?
I have no idea.
That's the point I'm saying.
Know them.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, because that's yes, people do come out of nowhere and become very popular, and they're nobodies.
No,
and
but the system is
can
naturally
they stay broken? Is it okay to be
the
like
system
awesome
doesn't
and broken?
want to see them as broken.
What system?
Us.
We don't really want it.
We don't want to see them as broken. You take a guy, let's say Ellie Nash, right? Right?
Okay.
He doesn't claim to be the guy that's, but people, when they hear like, oh, the guy, he healed from addiction. He's now he has money.
So
he's
now,
like the perfect.
him.
They don't know him. You can't put out, like, even if he does, they don't want to see a conversion. We don't want to see that. It's almost like the system creates like, oh, you're gonna come out there and be.
Okay, I'm so happy you're saying this, because I totally don't agree with you.
Okay.
I love
but
it.
like, you know, the people like on Instagram. Now, what is it to get a better post? I'll show the mess in my house. Don't think I don't have a mess in my house. Look, it really is a mess. Oh, she has a mess in her house. She's like just like us, more popular, but also not in a realistic way. Like, it also becomes like, oh, okay, who has a bigger mess? It remains like, do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're
the
saying.
The system doesn't want to like, oh, they're just like me. Let me be like, no, like
right.
When I have 80 million followers, I'll also show my mess because now it's popular. Like, you get it?
I get
it.
They don't
want it.
I get it. I'm gonna just share what's coming up for me. I'm gonna challenge what you're saying, in my own mind at least, because you keep saying like the system, they don't want it. So, what I'm hearing you say when you say that is like there's a collective I guess, followers of influencers, right? I guess we can categorize there's the influencers and then there's the influencees.
I'll explain what I mean when
Okay,
I say they.
so,
But yeah.
so I'm saying, but there's a they. There's like you, and you're saying that whoever they are, which doesn't matter, don't want it. So my challenge is, I think they really do want it. I think they really do want it.
Well, it's
But they don't even know what it looks like.
correct, but also they don't know this day is it. We're part of it. It's like. It's like how does that we're talking before about that in the healing circles, now we say and like no one decided that's what you do. It just becomes like a system all of a sudden, and now everyone's just whoever becomes part of it. You're the problem, but like I'm not the only one that decided. We say when we hear someone say something.
Okay.
That's what it becomes. Everything becomes systemized as it becomes big. You have a boutique brand, right? It's boutique, it's organic, it's homemade, but now a lot of people want it. So how do we make more of it? We find organic preservatives and organic pesticides, and like, is it still organic? Is it still boutique? A boutique brand that's selling millions and millions of pieces to anybody that wants it, because so many, it lost its thing. That's what the system does. Like, they want the organic, but everyone wants organic. We'll make it organic. It's not even organic anymore. That keeps happening. Every time something becomes very popular and big, it becomes part of something that's just wants it in a certain way. Like the hospital system, it's so bad, right? The medical system, like they don't have no spiritual, like, at all. Like, you come into a hospital, like, guy has cancer, no one's gonna tell him maybe you have a lot of resentment built up inside you that can result in your, like, no, here's the treatment. Like, that's how the system decided it is. It's not one guy. Like, no one did it. It just becomes like that.
I hear that. So what's coming out? Yeah. What I'm thinking about.
It's not even they. Like, it's
No. I hear
it's
what you're
not
saying.
one guy.
Let's go back to what I think. I'm going back to where my thought started from. So I am a big believer. You know, I'm a therapist. I work with people, and I work with people who come to me in their broken state.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at the people who are officially categorized as the broken humans, right? Not the fixed normal humans. They're like the whatever.
The humans.
Humans, yeah. And I see so much, so many gifts.
Gold.
Like, literally. I'm not saying like, oh, I know how to see gold. I'm saying literally, like.
They're people. People are.
No, I'm saying like literally.
Yeah.
Artistic talents, musical talents, ability to express, compassion, kind of just all these really incredible, heroic qualities and talents. And the thing is that what I'm thinking is that seems to still be this idea that, like, there's a spectrum. There's like you're here. There's like, you know, like 1 to 100, and like from 1 to 30 are all the messed up people, and then like when you graduate there, you get to like mediocre, and then like on the top there's like the people who are like happy all the time and they figured it out and they don't let themselves go down and everything's fine, right? And so as long as you find yourself, self-assess. If you assess yourself and say, I'm in the bottom 30%, so you're carrying a burden, like I said about the difference, how tall people are, and you know, if you go out, where's that place where everyone's like 7 feet tall? You go to like
It's probably Scandinavia.
Whatever, you know, like, so if you go to these places, you're gonna be like, damn, like, I feel so short suddenly. But
Norway,
yeah. So same thing. So basically, I don't know. I really just feel like that is in a delusional thinking pattern, or it's an illusion. It's not real. But we live in the confinements of these illusions. They're not real. There is no such thing. That's what I'm saying. And so if we can somehow, I don't know how. I don't know. If I knew how to do it. If somehow that can be taken down, you know, you know the story with the, you know, you probably know the story, but I'll share it. Like the story with there's a guy and he's like in Ukraine or something, and he has a traveling zoo, and he like goes up to some guys like, look, I'm down a lion. I advertise, you know, I need to have 3 lions. I'm down a lion, and I'll pay you $1,000 a day. But go in a lion costume, right? And just act like a lion. I'll train you. At the end of the day, he gets $1,000. He's like, this is great. Come back tomorrow, right? And he keeps doing it every day until one day, this guy's like in a lion costume. He sees the other lion approaching him, growling, and he's like, oh, damn, I'm done. I'm dead. Like, he busted my cover. He's looking at me like he's He's sensing I'm not really a lion. And so, as a lion gets closer, he screams out, "Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad." You know, and the other lion says, "Will you shut up? You're going to get us all caught. You're going to get us all like discovered, right?" And I think that it's a good. I mean, I don't remember. I heard this analogy years ago, but that is what I'm talking about. It's like I'm the one who's putting on a show. Nobody really knows who I am. When I go out of my house and when I walk around, I'm in the lion's den, and everyone else are real lions. Everyone else are real. All the other people in the world are real people. They're like normal people. They're people that like love themselves and care about themselves and are successful and everything. And here's me, this like broken, self-loathing, self-doubting creature in this fake suit when I walk outside. Hello, whatever. And they're so scared that someone is going to catch them, bust them, and be like, "You are not a real good person. I can see what's inside." So when they're walking out, they literally feel like they're wearing a costume, and they're petrified. Their nervous system is on full, sympathetic response mode of like being caught at every moment. And so that's social anxiety, right? People are going to know what I think about. And I think that what they don't realize, now I'm talking about the people who do this, is that the other people that they think will see them are doing the exact same thing. They're also wearing, it's like, it's so funny. It's such a game, the whole thing. It's just so sad because it's like those lions are all also costumes, and you've been so scared. Social anxiety, it's huge, by the way. Social anxiety is like, if I had to take all my clients and all the people I work with and like sum up like what's the highest thing people struggle with, is social anxiety, especially these days. What is social anxiety? It's the projection of what you think about yourself onto the, it's like everyone else's head is your projecting screens, your projector screens, and you project onto their heads what you think about yourself, and you think they're thinking that about you, like, "Oh, who's this loser that just walked in the room? You're so short, or you're so weird," or and that's what you think about yourself. So whatever you think about yourself, you project.
I am what I think you think I am.
Exactly. And I think you think I am what I think I am.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm literally living.
Yeah.
So what I am is what I think you think I am.
I'm saying even deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think I am nothing. So I think you think I'm nothing, and then after that, I think I'm nothing because you think I'm nothing. But you actually project that to begin with.
The whole story is just right here.
And so, I think that I don't know. I'm really, I don't know the answer, but I know that if we can somehow, people want to like find the cure to this, cure that. If we can somehow get out of this, and just like all just be like we're all just humans in a lion costume, then it would be suddenly like, oh, calm down,
Let's get really honest here.
Yeah.
Is this your issue? You're saying that I know people out there, they think,
So I'll be honest. It probably is. It's to some level.
And then you're projecting it onto other
probably.
people.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, probably. But I will tell you this. I try to
let's break it so I can come out and be broken and awesome.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It probably is, but there's another component. I started a while ago, and like I can't tell you who my clients are, but if you would ask them, they'd tell you this is true. And I started to just be like an imperfect human, honest and authentic in the space where I'm showing up as a hired healer or therapist. Mm-hmm. And I find that
it works.
People actually feel safer to be with somebody like that. Even they're not like, "Oh, come on, man, I'm paying you, and like you also have anxiety and fears and phobias." Like, you're supposed to be like someone who's worth being paid because you are fixed, Mm-hmm. And I'm very honest and authentic about it, and I think that I'm happy to be. But now that you just said that, now that I'm talking, I'm thinking that like for sure, I want to be more authentic, and I feel I want to be more authentic. I mean, I want to like really throw off the lion costume completely, and I feel like I would have to be like some kind of like Nachshon ben Aminadab to do that. And I just don't feel yet like the courage to do it. But yeah, there's like a deep desire to do it. Yeah,
that's your
and
gift.
I'm holding myself back.
That's your gift that you want to bring into this world.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, now I'm realizing it. Like that is it. Like I want to be the Nachshon ben Aminadab for the guy that's just like, guess what? I have, just I have these gifts to give, and the gifts are actually the imperfection.
I know what you're saying. I remember when I worked with different therapists, I was like, how do you always just show up and you always look okay, you know? Yeah, some say like, I've learned or whatever, but my current coach says like, he says it a lot. Everybody struggles.
Of course.
And I love hearing that. Like, okay, because you get to like some like a delusional state of like, I'm gonna come into a place where like, no more, I'm gonna be healed and perfect, and everything is gonna be just dandy, like that other guy that I guess you're talking about that is in the lion suit, who we think is a real lion actually.
Yeah.
And it's very refreshing like, don't worry,
right.
Mendy,
So what? Right.
Everyone's going through it.
So it's like, what do I? It's funny you're saying that because it just came to me right now as you're saying that. It's like, what do I do? So yeah, okay, I went to the university and I got a degree as a therapist, and I spent years, and I don't think I've used more than maybe 2% of that information in the day to day. I'm not here to knock it. I'm just telling I don't. It definitely benefited from it, but like it's not. But like this is an example. I think it's just came to my mind of what do I do? Okay, so imagine you have, imagine like everybody's radio. I know there's no radios anymore, but imagine back in the day, everyone's radio at home suddenly was stuck on full blast, and they couldn't shut it off. So they're trying to live, and there's just like blasting music, and it's like so loud they can't even hear their conversations, and they can't even like, they can't have like whatever their whole life. There's this music blasting and driving them absolutely crazy. It doesn't let you live in your house, and like they have to go outside their house. It's so loud. It's painful to listen to. And nobody knows what to do. So everyone's just like live most of the day out of their house, and they kind of like go to sleep with like 25 pillows, and they put soundproof thing, but they can't shut the stupid thing off, right? And then like a person figured out how to like play around with this thing and get the volume down from like 100% to 20% or 25%. So like it's still playing, but it's like, oh, whoa, and he can go back in his house. It's still annoying. It's still not quiet and peaceful, but it's a big difference from 100% volume to 25% volume. And like he could sleep, and now he only needs like one pillow to cover his ears instead of like 35, and you know, and then like people start knocking on his door. It's like, dude, how did you do that? Can you show me how to do that? And the guy's like, you know what? I'll just train people. I'll be like, look, take this, and oh, there it is. And people start like saying like, they say, look, I need to make a living, so here, I'll charge you, I'll show you how to do it. It's gonna take some time, and then you'll do it. And everyone just starts lining up with their radios to get it down to 25%. And like, if I were to say like, what am I doing right now? It's like my anxiety and my disassociative disorders in my head from my childhood traumas was at like 100% volume. I was just like, I was not living in reality. I just had noise. It wasn't necessarily words. It wasn't like active psychosis, like, you know, like it was just like I just felt a like 100% level of just anxiety, and like, you know, like the energy was at 100%, and you couldn't live. You can't live in your body. You can't be in relationships properly. You can't forget relationships with your wife, your children, God, people, everything. You're just literally floating, right? And for whatever reason, throughout my story and my journey, I've found people who had their radios lower, and I said, can you show me? And I invested my time and effort, and it worked. I got my radio down to a level where like there's so much you can now hear. Like you can also, when your level's at 100 and there's any other beautiful voices being sung or beautiful words being told to you, like I love you, you're precious, you wouldn't hear it because you wouldn't hear anything other than the music. But when you put it down to 25%, suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many other beautiful things I can hear. And so when I show up to my clients, I'm like, look, here, I'm just a person who got mine from like 100 down to like 25, which I think is incredible. I'm really proud of myself. You know, I'm still at 25.
It's kind of what I was saying
I want to get
before.
to 0, but
I was saying before, like, I had a bad day, I'm going to talk to someone, like...
no, this is coming to me because of what you're saying. I'm just realizing that, like, who am I? I'm coming to people, I'm like, yeah, I'll show you how... I could show you at least how to get it to 25. Well, I'll take that. I mean, I want to get mine to 0, where it's, like, full on. I'm not this Eckhart Tolle. I'm not that guy. You know, these people who are like, I'm at 0. I'm not 0, but...
It could be 0 for a moment. Also.
Yeah. But even if not, it's like, I'm just like, dude, I figured something out. People showed me. It worked. And I was a person who lived for decades without experiencing anything other than this noise. And now that I've gotten it down, I'm seeing that there's actually a world that I'm living in that I had no idea about. And I would love, and absolutely love to show you how to do that if you're struggling like I was, if you're at 100. And that's my passion, my true passion. And thank God, been able to do that for a lot of people. But of course, I want to get to Mashiach, 0, where it's like you're just completely. But yeah, I'm completely not. And I thank you for saying all that, because I'm realizing now in myself, like I'm literally struggling still compared to 0, right? We're talking about tall and short. Compared to 0, I'm still like a mess. But compared to 100, I'm like very much grateful how much of healing I've been able to accomplish. So like, is there a way to like market that? To be like, hey, I'm like working on myself, got some success, still totally screwed up human, but I'd love to help you. Like, how do you market that? Without putting like a PhD or some kind of degree after your level, which kind of has this whole, like, how do you do that? Like, what would you write after your name? Like, on the journey struggling human, but would love to give you whatever I found in the process. Like, how do you write that?
Totally.
So how would you?
The organic. You're organic.
That? Yeah.
But that also, like, yeah, that's beautiful. So to bring it back to what you were saying, how to like. You're trying to say that should be like what's out there, so that people don't have to keep hiding and expecting that like the other person is so perfect, I'm worthless. When I went to like this Amazon conference and everyone's talking about their shipping of
boats,
the boats, and I'm like, well, I can fit everything in my car.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me feel inadequate.
Yeah.
Right. But like, can anyone just talk about like their struggles here?
Yeah.
Like, but if talking about struggles became a thing, then it would be again systemized. Who's got the biggest struggles? Wow. You have 25% noise and you're managing. That guy has 75%. Let me go to him and he's gonna teach me. Like, we're always gonna make celebrities. Like, that's just the nature of man. It's just the nature. We always turn someone into a celebrity. I think we have to, so that we get like everything is on a spectrum, because otherwise like you wouldn't know like what you want if there wasn't like this variety of like, I could be this extreme or that extreme. What do I want?
I hear you. I'm just trying to think. No, I hear you. I'm just wondering, like, you're saying it as if, at least I'm hearing you say it as if it's almost like how it has to be, and I'm challenging that.
It's a gift.
I don't know.
It's a gift that God gave called relativity. Because if everything was just like it would be very, you don't know what you want.
Yeah, but
because it's always relative to something else.
Yeah,
like,
but you're right. But
why is it bad?
You say God did it, but God also did something very powerful. And besides for tzaddikim, which are, we believe tzaddikim, they don't decompose.
Okay.
Holy, at least certain tzaddikim. That's the belief system in the Kabbalistic teachings, that like their bodies don't decompose. Always the worms like that come to them and they're like, oh, not this guy. Let's go eat the other guy.
Tastes good.
And we're not. He's off limits. And but besides for that, like if a billionaire, someone who's worth $100 billion, gets buried next to a beggar or a homeless person, the worms don't know the difference.
Right.
There's no indication.
Okay.
Which means that there's no reality to it.
Okay.
Meaning that all that money, all that status, and all those stories, and all that celebrity status, whatever it is, didn't penetrate reality. It stayed in something other than reality, because otherwise you wouldn't decompose and be eaten the same way somebody else.
Reality doesn't matter.
Right, but that's because
but
you end up. But what's the end of that person?
That's
Bones.
fine. That's not the end.
That's the end in the physical sense.
No.
So when you make someone a celebrity,
then he turns into a worm, and one day he's eaten by a bird, and then she poops and turns into a tree, and then he's a human again.
Okay, I didn't know we're studying Buddhism.
Well, it's not Buddhism. It's just
talking about
the natural cycle.
Right, I hear you, but what I'm trying to say is that when we want to make somebody a celebrity, what we're really trying to do is to make ourselves feel safer.
Okay.
But when we think about the fact that celebrity, which is making us feel safer, can die at any moment and will rot and decompose, it's kind of like, that's why the Torah says, like, Ezu Chacham Reis HaNeilad, or it says, like, if you're stuck in a moment of sin, meaning weakness, Zecher Yom Masay, think of death. Why? Because then it's like, puts you back into perspective. There's nothing. Like, there's nothing. There's no celebrities, no nothing. It's just these containers that contain something that is true. But how do you access that truth? It's not by pinning yourself against this. It's not by creating a celebrity status. I hear you saying it.
No, I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing.
You said it's a good thing before. I thought you said it's a blessing. I
No.
thought you said that.
Not the celebrity status, but the relativity is a blessed thing.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying that the fact that we as humans are wired to look and seek out celebrity statuses and people and follow them is a good thing.
No, I don't know if it's good or bad.
Oh, okay, so
I don't even want to talk about good or bad because it's all relative.
Yeah.
It's all relative, the good and bad.
Yeah.
That's also relative. I'm saying the gift of relativity gives you. I don't have an understanding.
Can there be such? Let me say it this way. Can there be such a thing?
Scratch. Yeah.
Scratch. Can there be such a thing as going out, waking up in the morning, and walking out into the world, whatever the hell job you have, wherever you go, and literally getting to a place in your head where you see in your eyes humans?
Yeah.
Like that's it. Just humans. They're these containers. They're these avatars that carry these infinite souls, and they are limited. They're designed to be limited. They are clueless. They know not. The ultimate that they'll ever get is to just accept the fact that they don't know anything, that they have no clue what's going to be tomorrow. They may not even be alive tomorrow. They have no control over anything, and they're just operating with complete weakness. The ultimate weakness you could have is to be a creation, because you literally have no control over your destiny, over anything. You don't even know anything. You don't know what's going to be in 1 minute. And you still have to operate with that vulnerability and that authenticity and that honesty that, like, I have no control over anything. But then you can go into the world of dimion, hallucination or whatever, and you can imagine yourself being like, oh, now I am something, because like I finally got $10 million in my bank, or I got a degree, or like people told me like you're the best at what you do, and like I shipped out 10 trucks, you know, and
ships.
But those are all. I think that those are all like fake things. They're like fake. It's like, you know, you still don't have a freaking idea about anything, right? And it's like, I don't know if you know the story. I heard it in yeshiva. Like some guy comes to somebody and says, like, "Can you prove? How do you prove that there's a God? Like, tell me. Like, prove it. Prove there's a God. Prove to me that there's a God. There's a creator." This guy's a big like philosopher. He's like, saw a Jew. He's like, yeah. And so the Jew said, "Let me ask you a question. Do you see over there? There's goats." He goes, "Yeah." He says, "You see over there? There's sheep." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Do you see they're both eating? Where are they eating from? They're eating the same grass." He says, "Now let's walk closer." I don't know which one's which because I don't know anything about anything, but one of them poops circle balls. The other one poops fluffy milk froth. and he goes, "Look, this one's pooping like little balls, and the other one's pooping this, you know, milk froth." He's like, "If they're eating the same thing, why are their poop coming out different?" And the guy's like, "I have no idea." And he's like, "Okay, so let me get this. You don't understand
Shit.
Yeah, and you want to understand more,
God.
right? It's the same idea. It's like we don't really understand anything, and even with all the sophistications that all we're getting now with where science is advancing to, and quantum physics and everything else, is just how much we don't know. All we've gotten, which is incredible, by the way, but all we've gotten so much is that we've finally gotten somewhere where now with AI we're going to get even more, but we've finally gotten to a point where we're like, oh, so we now know that we absolutely have no way of knowing anything because it's absolutely impossible. Great, okay, so we got there. I'm saying, like, I wasn't planning on talking about this. I wasn't planning on anything, but this is coming up and I'm feeling very passionate about it, either because I'm triggered as hell and I'm pissed off, or I feel really passionate about this. It's like, imagine how much we can offer the suffering humans in this world if we somehow made it for me, them, us, that we don't need to do it anymore. We could just walk out as us.
Are you intimidated by other people?
I'm inspired.
Are you intimidated by? You're inspired by the people.
No, I'm inspired to like.
By the lower 30%.
I'm inspired to. I'm the guy right now that feels like I want to go feed like the people in Africa. You know, like I want to take care of the lower 30%.
Right, you're inspired.
I want to be like, here, come here. You can come out now.
But you look at the 60% with the upper 30% with intimidation.
No, I don't know if I do.
That's what it sounds when you're like.
Sounds like it. Okay.
Yeah, like, oh, that guy walks around because he made my family and he's delusional. He thinks he's like safe, and everyone's looking at him like they're like, what does it bother you? Like that guy figured something out that makes him feel like he's safe, and he became perfect. I'm like, it can't be. He's not allowed to be perfect. Everyone should be like the 30% with amazing gifts, and so yeah. Are you intimidated by that guy?
Obviously.
Let me ask you. Jeff Bezos walks Not well. If you walk into this basement, that would not be intimidating at all, because he'd be like, "Dude, yeah, get involved in this podcast. Talk to us about your this. Let's get naked, right?" Jeff
Be
Bezos
real.
comes in,
Yeah.
let's all get naked. We're all equal. But if you were walking in Manhattan and you saw Jeff Bezos, how do you react to that? Like, wow, that guy, he's so famous and he owns so much. Like, you're intimidated by it.
Okay, so
You're talking to yourself, I imagine. Like, you
Probably,
want to be in
yeah.
a place
So
where you
there's
can walk over and be like,
definitely-
hey,
yeah,
Jeff Bezos, it's very nice that he's famous. We all know. It's not a secret that people struggle.
Yeah.
The guy had to move the bridge to bring his boat on. There wasn't enough that he had some boat somewhere. It's like, until the bridge, I gotta get, like what? How much? When does it end? It's never enough.
So in a conscious level, I feel, I'll be honest, in a conscious level, I feel like I was in a much more stuck place, and I got myself to a place where I started to see humans as humans, and I feel so much more free, and it's such a beautiful place to be that I just am so passionate to go back, and like I want to go to people that were like me and do it. But if you go deeper, I'm still also that person to the next level. Like,
Right.
some people are like, can't walk out of the door because they're intimidated by the mailman, which is like, how did he figure out a way to get a job and just like get out every day, and I'm not. So that's not where I am. But I definitely, now that you're saying it, I'm going deeper. Yeah, there's definitely never end.
There's never.
Yeah,
You
there's no
live in
end.
a world of ain't safe.
Yeah, ain't safe, yeah.
So you're trying to get to the highest level of what? Of an infinity. You can't get to that highest level. This also reminds me of that story with the Alter Rebbe when they all asked, like, well, if you were God, how would you create the world?
Same, yeah.
There's like, this is how it is. There's that status people that were intimidated by it, and there's this, and as soon as you become that rich person, you find there's someone even richer. And when you're the richest person in the world, you're intimidated by the poor guy who has nothing to lose anymore. Like, oh, this guy he's really rich. He has no money, no house, no responsibility, and he's fishing on the beach. Well, I'm like, if I want to go fishing, I have to hire a whole team to take care of my money and my stuff so I can get some menuchas nefesh. Like, like I love astronauts in space. I don't know if I ever told you this, but like astronauts,
yeah.
like they fly into space. I don't know. All of a sudden, they're looking up at Earth. Their whole like life becomes changed by that. Like,
Flip model, yeah.
it's like, wait, like where's up, where's down, where's right, where's left? Like it's all relative.
Yeah.
It doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Yeah.
That's what quantum physics is showing us. You break it all down, there's nothing really
Right.
here.
Right.
There's nothing here. Now, of course, we weren't going to go here, but here we are. Because
Yeah, no, but now you
two
got me
men are
thinking.
going to sit and talk.
Yeah.
Real, we're going to end up with Eined Mulvade. That's the best sum of it all. Like, it's just one anyhow. So what's the difference? It's all one. You have a guy like this, you have a guy like that. You have people intimidated to 30% to 40%. There's the you and me, and we think everyone should like come out with all their damaged and like, wow, that's your gift. Then you live that thing. And that guy's gift is to walk around like he is perfection. What's the difference?
So here's what's coming up for me. I agree with you. Thank you.
And not that he doesn't walk around like he's perfection. I project onto him that he's perfection. I have no idea what's going on in his life. I'm looking at him like, oh, why doesn't he come out and show himself as more broken? He's like, I'm walking around like this broken guy. Doesn't anyone see me?
So here's what's coming up for me. I had time to like really, because from when you brought it up, I was like trying to like get clarity. And
Did you hear anything else I said?
I heard everything you said.
Okay.
I heard everything you said, and if not, it's on the podcast. Like, listen later. But I definitely was also like subconsciously like trying to like figure out so like 1 second, like, yeah, it is for sure coming from a place of like, I'm that guy that I'm talking about, the guy. Like, but I want to tell you one thing, what's coming up for me. And this is the weirdest part about, I guess, our journeys in life, is like there's like two parts of me. It's like the IFS model. Like there's definitely a more self part of me, the self, capital S, that really feels, because of my story and my journey and the way I have lived my life and the things I've been through, that like I have a much more I have much more of an attraction towards working and for people who are in a similar place where I was. So like my like they say, your mess becomes your message, right? So there's definitely that component. And so there's definitely that component of coming up for me right now. There's definitely like, I'm feeling passion. I'm feeling like, yeah, like Like I feel for people that like just want to get out of their freaking houses, and they're holding such beautiful souls, and they're afraid to walk out of the door because in their head there's like the lions, and they're in a costume, right? So that is definitely coming out for me, and I think that is, it's something that's coming up that I think is higher than logic. It's not like an idea. It's like coming from a very strong place, and that's beautiful. But then there's also a part of me, like an inner child part, that's still the guy afraid to come out of the house because he's still living in that space. And now I'm realizing as we're speaking that I need these two parts to talk. That part needs to talk with the self part, and I'd be like, can you tell me everything you're trying to do for everybody else? Because I'm still, in the house afraid to come out. And so that's beautiful.
We're gonna end over here.
Yeah.
Because this is a full circle. You're the guy you've been looking for.
I'm the guy I've been looking for.
That you're like, I gotta take these guys and get them out of the house.
I'm
you.
The guy I've been
You're the
looking to
guy.
save. I'm the guy I'm trying to help. Beautiful. Thank you. How much do I pay you?
Oh my god.
Send me the bill.
That is so fun. All right. So
Wow.
now this gives an insight to who Schneur Hayes is.
Wow, that was beautiful.
And Mendy Posner. I'm Mendy.
Are we still
Schneur.
being recorded right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we ended.
This is part of our business plan.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
who's Mendy and Schneur? Why should we come to
Oh.
their retreat? Like, because we're two
Oh.
dudes, and we've talked to people, and we've figured out a way to lower the volume a little bit. Like, it really is. It's not. We're always in process, right? That was it. The marketing. I'm in process.
We're definitely still processing.
I'm not done at all. And I love it.
Yes.
I really like it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.